Hello and welcome to today's live with Debbie Passive Income with Content, where we talk about in 20 minutes or less actionable things that you can do in your business so that you can move the needle forward and make passive income, put things in place where you do the work once and it works for you over and over and over and over and over again. And if you're watching us live, welcome. Love to have you here all the time. And if you're watching the replay, probably on YouTube, go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment so that I can interact with you and so that you can give me your feedback, okay? And today we're going to be talking about snippets of content to make you fortunes. And I got inspired by this topic actually yesterday when I had one of my coaching clients ask me, well, how do I get more traction to my offers, to my squeeze page, to my ultimately to the offer that I sell, like my main program that I sell that I want people to kind of funnel into. And I told her, I was like, she's like, oh, should I do an ebook? What should I do? And I'm like, you need to start to get in front of people to actually get to know you first, right? So yes, you should have a funnel, right? Everyone talks about funnels and how do you capture email addresses and then you bring them through kind of a pathway. But they're kind of funnels are kind of cold, right? They don't really allow you to get to know the person, the marketer who's on the other side, and vice versa. You don't get to know who's reading your content, and the person that's reading the content doesn't really get to know the marketer or the coach or whoever it is that's trying to bring you along through their program, right? So what I told her is that you need to kind of pick somewhere where you feel comfortable with, and we'll kind of talk about that in a second, and start adding snippets of content in that one place. So the idea is not to go on YouTube and LinkedIn and Pinterest and Instagram, and you can eventually do that, but you need to pick one place, one home where you're like, okay, I'm going to add my snippets of content. And we'll get into that more specifically too. And I'm going to do this for 30 days, right? And I'm going to see how much traction I get, how much of a following I can get. Because when you add these little snippets of content, then people can actually get to know you better. And that's what you want. You want to create this atmosphere where that person actually feels like they know you. And they could have never met you before in real life, right? That's what you should strive to create with anything that you're selling. So you want to add like a personality behind whoever it is, because then when they see your stuff online or when they do see your funnel and the opportunity to opt in, they're going to be like, oh, that's Tony. Oh, that's Tom. Oh, that's Jenny, and who are my other buddies here? Margaret, they're going to know and who you are already, and that whole process is not going to be so cold to them, right? You see the difference here? And so what I wanted to do was show you, and I was talking about this specific example with my client yesterday. I'm just going to go ahead and show my screen here. So this is my friend, another friend. This is Lynn Terry, and she has this Instagram account, and it's called the Low Carb Traveler. And she literally, if you look at this, she just I know that she's been in this niche for a while, so this isn't like something she started yesterday, but all she does is post like low carb stuff that she eats along the way. I don't know if it's necessarily her traveling all the time or just always posting low carb stuff when she goes out. And she does actually post her traveling pictures as well, as you can see, which goes with her brand, right? So that it really makes sense. So just to go and up here and see her stats, she just hit 100,000 followers just recently. And this is all public information. She actually gets paid a nice sum of money to go on other related Instagram niches, like in her health field and in the low carb or the dieting, whatever it is, that niche. She gets paid to actually start comments, starts like the communication inside the other people's thread, because engagement is everything on Instagram these days. Like likes and followers, anybody can get those. It's, anyone can buy those. It's the engaged comments that are hard to find, and she actually makes money like that, like crazy, right? So I'm pointing this out to you because this is what Lynn is doing. She's sharing snippets of content. She chose to do it on Instagram. She does it in other places too. She probably has a team of people that helps her become known in the other social media platforms, right? And this is what she's doing on Instagram, and it looks like it's only pictures for these, which is amazing. It's not even videos, it's just pictures. So cool, right? And she's got a nice following that, look at this, every single post gets a ton of likes. And she injects her personality in there, her personal life, her dogs. So this is what I'm talking about. You see how you can just visit a page and kind of already get a sense of who Lynn is and what her deal is and what her lifestyle is about and how she lives, what she's promoting. It's one and the same. This is where I want like your mindset to be, because it's easier when you can kind of live what you do. And that's why I always talk about, adding the passion and the love behind your marketing, your personality behind your marketing, because people can see that and relate to it, especially in this social world where we're all about, pictures and scrolling, and that's what it is. Yeah, and then Lynn, actually her bio leads to her website there where she's selling stuff too. So she's making money in all different ways just by focusing on one thing, Instagram, right? This is her thing. It's Instagram, and she's up to 100,000 followers, which is really, really impressive. I like to do video. So whenever I get an idea about something, I will shoot a video and put it on my YouTube channel, right? I love that video, because people, they get to kind of see who you are. They get to see that you're the real deal and not some like robot, or not someone hiring someone else to do the work or whatever. So that's the place where I concentrate on. And then with videos, actually now you can use Instagram TV, live TV, where you can put kind of longer videos on there, so you can get that video touch if you want the videos in both for Instagram and for YouTube. Maybe you're more of like a Pinterest person, where you're in like particular niches that are popular on Pinterest. Maybe that's where you want to focus on, or Facebook. I mean, everybody's on Facebook, and it's kind of harder to get seen these days. I think, especially if, like, for my client who is in the low carb niche, I thought of Lynn right away. And if she just like stuck to a 30-day plan, use the hashtags like I talk about in past sessions. If you haven't seen Endless IG Traffic, go look at that, go pick that up, because I talk about how you can literally instantly get in front of real people just by using the right hashtags. It's an amazing thing what Instagram can do for your business, especially if you can incorporate some kind of visual aspect of what you're doing. So yes, it's about the written word, but if you can also incorporate visual, like the pictures that we see here, that's also very helpful. And then number 3 is video. So really quickly, with the time that we have left, let's talk about the content snippets. And I've talked about this before, and if you're having trouble thinking about what you can talk about to your target market, obviously it has to relate to the target market, right? So if I'm going to be talking about like low carb eating, it's going to be about maybe some struggles like, oh, I was so hungry this morning, so I had a bowl of cereal. And 20 minutes later, I got hungry again because cereal is just, you know, full of empty calories, and it doesn't fill you up, and you end up eating more and gaining weight because you're not eating the right foods for breakfast, right? So what kind of foods can you eat that you're not going to be hungry until lunch, around lunchtime, or maybe even later than lunchtime? Maybe you don't even have to eat lunch, right? You could skip to like a late afternoon snack where you're just eating fruit and then you eat like a nice dinner. You know, I'm kind of going on and on, but you can see how you can pinpoint different topics and shed some light on some of the struggles that people have. Now, another way that you can find topics to talk about, you don't have to like sit in the dark and think, oh, what should I talk about? It's so easy these days to find things to talk about. You just go and you can read Facebook groups, like look at what people are asking in Facebook groups. Another awesome place to get ideas is podcasts. Find podcasts in your niche. Start listening to them, right? And then get your own ideas about what you want to talk about. And this is, I think I actually was on a Facebook Live this week where I talked about, and you should check that out if you're not in the Facebook group. Just look for passive income with content and join that group and watch the live session that I did this week, because I talked about, you know, if you're not sure of what niche to go into, this is the criteria that you should check on the list before you actually go and commit to doing anything that you're probably going to regret if you're not in love with it, right? Jim says, yeah, she's followed by Aliciba. Aliciba is my good friend too, and I think Aliciba was the one that actually brought this to light and on her Facebook page, and I was like, oh my God, what an asset it is to have a group or a following on Instagram that has 100,000 followers, real followers, right? Man, that is awesome. Good for her. The snippets, Tracy, they do not have to be long at all. That's why they're called snippets. You get less likable, you get less cute if you go on and on and on and on and on. So like these sessions are a little different because I want them to be like 20 minutes. It's still a short period of time, but 20 minutes is not 4 minutes, right? So if somebody was coming in and watching my YouTube channel, and then they wouldn't want to see like a whole bunch of chatter and things like that. So you want to really get to the point. You want to really come on and just be like, you know, do you struggle with this? I did too, and this is what I found. These are the solutions, 1, 2, and 3. And then you're done, right? You don't want it to go on forever. And think about yourself as being like Netflix, right? So you can have these little tidbits of information that people can kind of go back to, and then you name them different topics each day or whatever, however long you want to do it, right? So you can do it in a challenge yourself, you can do it day by day. You could just say, hey, for the next 30 days, I'm going to commit to this one thing, and then see where you are. Because it doesn't have to be like, oh, hands up in the air, I don't know what to do. This is what you do. This is the answer, right? Repeat the Facebook group. It's passive income with content. Passive income with content. Oh, this is a great question, Amy. Amy's asking pretty much, like, if you post something on YouTube, can you post it on Instagram and LinkedIn? I love to do that because think about it. Not everybody is going to see your content in everywhere, right? I mean, if they come across your content in another place, it's fine. It's actually better because you're getting more visibility, especially if you're getting visibility from people who may or may not know you too well yet. So they're like, oh, cool, I see Amy over here. I'm seeing Amy over here. I'm seeing Amy over here. It's awesome. So I think it's a-okay to post the same content in multiple places, right? Just as long as you're adding enough of it around so that it's not like too much of the same stuff. All right, so there we have our 20 minutes. I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope that you start outlining your content snippets. I hope that you make kind of a challenge for yourself, and I hope that you got inspired today. I'll see you on the next one.